All right, today we're going to take a look at how to calculate credit card payments so that we can estimate how long it will take us to pay off a single charge on a credit card if we only make the minimum payment. Now in this example, I charged $450. And I'm going to be charged a certain amount of interest. That interest is determined by looking at the APR. APR stands for annual percentage rate. Now because credit cards are actually billed monthly, we have to translate annual to monthly. Now there are 12 months in a year. That means that you are always dividing your APR by 12 in order to translate it into a monthly percentage rate. If you take 16 divided by 12, that is going to equal approximately 1.33%. Now when you actually go to use this number, you have to be very careful because this actually reads 1.33 divided by 100. That's the mathematical meaning of the percent sign. So if I write that out in terms of math notation, 1.33 divided by 100, what I'm really going to be multiplying by is 0.0133. And the reason it's multiplication is that I want to figure out 1.33% of the $450, and of always means multiplication in math. Now the final piece of the puzzle that I need is my minimum payment, which in this case is going to be $45. So I'm going to write this down in the annual pay section so that I can keep track of how much I'm actually paying each month. Now the only time this is going to change is when I reach the last month that I'm going to make a payment, and that's going to be when my debt has actually fallen below my minimum payment. That means I'm just going to pay off my debt because you never pay anyone more than you actually owe them. Now to get this chart going, I'm going to take that 450 from right here, and I'm going to multiply this 0.0133 onto it. When I multiply this, I get $5.99. That's how much the credit card company is charging me for hanging on to their $450 for an entire month. So I charged this in the previous month, I didn't make any payments on it, I still owe them the $450, and as a result, I have to pay them an additional $5.99. Now because this is an additional debt charge, I actually have to add these together to figure out the new amount that I owe. So this is going to be my balance after my interest. So now I owe $455.99, and I'm going to make my $45 minimum payment. After I do that, I will owe $410.99, and that is going to be what I start the next month with because nothing's happened between the end of the previous billing cycle and the beginning of the next one. We're pretending that I've just stopped using my credit card until I can pay down this debt. All right, so now I owe $410.99 at the beginning of the second month. I'm going to be charged interest again, so I need to take this new amount that I owe times the times the 0.0133, and that's going to equal $5.47. Again, this is an increase to my debt, so I have to add these two together. That gives me $416.46. Subtract the 45 that I'm paying as my minimum payment. And now I owe $371.46. Again, that is going to wrap back around and begin the next month for my new billing cycle. And I'm again going to be charged interest for still owing them this money. Now notice that the interest is decreasing because I owe less and less each month. So when I multiply $371.46 by 0.0133, I'm going to get 4.94. So $4.94 is now what I'm being charged for still owing them this money. Again, increase in debt, so add these two together. And I'm going to get $376.40. Make my $45 payment, which is going to decrease my debt because I'm paying part of it off. And now I owe $331.40. Start the next month with that amount and repeat the process. Multiply by 0.0133, and I now owe $4.41. Add that on to my previous debt, and I owe $335.81. Make my $45 payment, and now I owe $290.81. Wrap that back around. Multiply by my monthly percentage rate, and now I'm being charged $3.87. Add these two together, and I owe a total of $294.68. That's what my $45 minimum payment will be subtracted from to equal $249.68. Again, wrap this back around. Multiply by my monthly percentage rate. I'm now being charged $3.32 for still owing them money. Add these two together, and I owe exactly $253. Subtract the 45 from that, and now I owe exactly $208. Wrap this back around. That's why I'm beginning month 7 by owing them. Again, multiply this number by my 0.0133. And now I'm being charged $2.77 for owing them that $208 at the beginning of the month. Add these two together, and now I owe them $210.77. Make my $45 payment, and I'm down to only owing $165.77. Bring this back around. Multiply onto the 0.0133. The interest charge is now $2.20. Add them together. I now owe $167.97. Make my $45 payment, and I owe $122.97. This is what I begin month 9 with. Multiply that by the 0.0133. Hopefully you're seeing a pattern here. Add these two together because I've increased my debt. Make my $45 minimum payment. And now I'm down to owing less than $100, only $79.61. I'm nearing the end of this. That's what starts this next month. Multiply by that 0.0133. And I'm now being charged $1.06 for still owing them money. Add these two together, and now I owe $80.67. Make my $45 payment, and now I owe only $35.67. This will probably be the month I'm actually able to pay off my debt during. So I'm going to start owing $35.67. When I multiply that by 0.0133, I am charged 47 cents for owing them this money. Add these two together, and I now owe $36.14. Now this is less than the $45 minimum payment that I was making. The way that credit cards work is that you only pay the minimum payment or your balance, whichever one is lowest. What I still owe them is the lowest number, so that's what I pay them. I'm not expected to pay them more than I actually owe them. So I need to wipe out my debt. I'm only going to pay $36.14 to make this zero. Now I owe them zero money. They don't owe me any money. I've broken even. So I managed to pay off my debt in 11 months. So down here where it says how many months would it take you to pay off the debt, in this case it's 11 months. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's shorter. It really depends on the situation. In order to figure out how much total money I spent, I actually need to look at the payments. This is the money that actually left my bank account. So this is what I add up. I don't care about this amount. I don't care about this amount. I don't care about this amount. None of those matter to me. What matters to me is what's the total that I actually made, that I actually paid in terms of the payments that I made to the credit card company. If you add all of this up together, that is going to equal $486.14. That's how much total I spent. And how much interest did I spend? Well, go to the interest column and actually add up all the interest that I was charged. And if I add all of those together, that adds up to $36.14. And now when you look at how much more did I spend using the credit card and making just that minimum payment than I would have spent if I had paid cash, well, by using the credit card, I ended up spending $486.14. If I had paid cash, I would have spent $450. If I want to know the difference between these, in other words, how much more I spent, I just subtract. If I subtract that, I'm going to get $36.14. Exactly how much interest I ended up paying. So your interest charged is actually the amount more that you're going to spend compared to just paying cash and paying the entire amount up front. Okay? I hope this helps.